Hello friends, today I'm going to show you 4 different techniques to play Bossa Nova on uke. Maybe like George Formby or Ohta-San. Head on over to my website to grab the free PDF to accompany this lesson, and let's dive right in. Before we talk about technique, we first need to understand the basic groove that we are playing, and in Bossa Nova that groove comes from understanding the guitar parts. Now luckily I have my extended range baritone uke here, and a Bossa Nova groove would sound something like this. Now while this sounds complex, there's really just 2 basic things that you need to understand. The pulse, or where we tap our foot, and the subdivision. How small do we break those beats up into? The pulse is simple, it's actually what the thumb is plucking. This is our pulse. And then we're going to break that into groupings of 4. So we'll get ta 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 ta. That's what we need to feel. And our rhythm that we're going to apply over top of this is one simple measure of music, which sounds like this. So what we want to do is we want to clap this together before we put it on the instrument, and it's going to sound like this. So we're going to have ta 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 ta. That's our rhythm that we're going to be working with. No more, no less. Now we need a couple chords to get around this. We're going to use this. We're going to use D6th, E7th, E minor 7th, A9, and right back to D6. If we play just our pulse, just simple down strums, I'm going to subdivide, it's going to sound like this. We start on D6. Ta 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 ta. E7 ta 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 ta. E minor 7 ta 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 ta. A9 ta 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 ta. Now let's make this uke sound like a tiny guitar. The most obvious thing to do is simply take what the guitar player is playing and play it on uke. So we can do this with a basic fingerstyle position, 1 finger per string. The thumb is always going to be playing on the G, index on C, middle on E, and the ring on A. And for our first beat, we're just going to pluck everything. The second one, we're going to leave the thumb out because remember we need that pulse on the G string. So we're going to have everything, fingers, everything, fingers. Then the thumb's going to come down independently. And then the fingers by themselves twice. So it's going to be everything, fingers, thumb, fingers. One more. Everything, fingers, thumb, fingers, fingers, everything, fingers, thumb, fingers. So if we get used to this, we can play it in our pattern like this. E7, E minor, A9, this sounds a lot better if you're playing low G, but it does work on high G as well. So let's try this nice and slow along with a bass and drum to help you in playing the groove. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the truth is, uke isn't just a tiny guitar. It's a completely different instrument, and sometimes different techniques help us achieve a very similar sound. And as someone that does predominantly strum style playing, this is how I usually play Bossa Nova. So this comes with just 2 fingers. All of those downbeats are now going to be with the thumb, all of our big pulses. So we can start out doing this, because this is the groove. How about E7th now? E minor 7, A9, D6. That's what the thumb is doing the whole time. We're just playing all of the other rhythms with an upstroke with our index finger. So we get down, up, down, up, up, 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 down, up, down, up. And note with the thumb, I'm coming through all the way, but with the index finger, I'm just hitting these top couple strings because it's really more about the rhythm than playing the chord itself. So we put that in context with our chords. It sounds like this. So let's put on that backing track again and see what it sounds like with the band. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you're playing with a band and you need something that cuts a little bit more, and for that we can look to Cavaquinho players and strum something like this. Cavaquinho is the cousin instrument of the uke, also from the same parent instrument, but evolved in Brazil and is used in samba music and some bossa nova as well. Now this is a steel string instrument played with a pick. So when I want to sound like a Cavaquinho, I think of George Formby, which might seem a little counterintuitive, but the way that he played with his index finger sounds quite a bit like a pick because it gives us this strong sort of sound. And all we need is a very specific strumming pattern to make this happen, and it's this. It's down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. Now the key is when we have those two downstrokes in a row, we're going to just with the first one hop off of the G string. Maybe we hit the C string, that's okay too, but it's a little ghost strum. So we have really down, up, bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, down, up, bounce down. So we put this in context of our chords. Sounds like this. If you want to dive more into this style of playing, I'll link to my playlist here on using George Formby techniques to do things that George Formby would never have played himself. So click on that, give it a shot, and let's try this along with the backing track. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Y'all are enjoying this lesson. If you'd like to dive further into the world of jazz and bossa nova uke, join me over on the Tin Man's Magic Ukulele Club. This month we're studying The Girl from Ipanema, going over all of the exciting chords and harmony in there, different rhythms that you can use over top, a backing track to practice along with, and even a lesson for you bass players. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. While all three of these techniques work amazingly, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the way that the great uke player, Ohta-San, played bossa nova. When he was accompanying a guitar player, his comping would sound something like this. We can add this little bit of percussion in there, but first we need to, again, understand the rhythm that he is playing here. So if we put down our D6th chord, we're going to be playing a tercio rhythm, or 3-3-2 is what we're thinking. You've heard this before, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So let's try going through our chords with that basic rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. E7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. E minor 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. A9, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then our D6. Now the percussion that we're going to add to this is a lot of fun. I've heard this called Ohta-San's Tick-Tock strum, because he uses the two parts of his hand. You'll see that I've swapped over to a different uke that has a slightly larger body on it. It's very hard to play on my Wunderkammer percussive style playing. So we're gonna add the knock first, and this is sort of a clave sort of sound. So you're actually gonna hold your hand like this, and we're gonna knock into the uke with the knuckles, trying to get that nice woody sound. And that's gonna come right on beat 3 of those groupings of 3. So we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And with our strum, it sounds like this. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It takes a little bit of coordination. And then the final little bit that we're going to get is we're actually going to have the full subdivision. Remember our initial subdivision of ta 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 ta. We're going to play every single one of those articulations. And our final strum is going to be the index finger, fingernail, coming into the side of the uke. And I find if I'm closer to the edge, I get that nice tapping sound, sort of like a hi-hat cymbal. And that's going to be inserted into everything we haven't played. So it's going to be thumb, tap, knock, thumb, tap, knock, thumb, tap, knock, thumb, tap, knock, thumb, tap. And note on that 2, we don't get our knock, right? So our whole pattern sounds like this, nice and slowly. We can try this along with the band and see what it sounds like and how it brings this groove to a whole new level. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see y'all next week.